Tony was saying about the kind of third party. I know, Ahrefs or SEMrush and their domain authority is really tied to backlinks. How do, quality content versus backlinks? What's the balance there?
First, quality content, by large, and here's why. And this has shifted over the years. So I would say 7, 8 years ago, links might have been a little bit more important. But this is where Google, as they've gotten better, they've been saying content is king, quality content, but they haven't been as good as everyone thinks they are at understanding what quality content is and telling us all what makes up quality content. We've seen plenty of times where a really bad page ranks and beats out other pages that are much better. So, but over the years, and I'd say the last 2 or 3 years, they've gotten a lot better at it. So quality content, diversity of content, right? So as they, start getting into, do you have video on your page? Do you have bullet point text? Do you have multiple headings and in the right order? These start to fall into quality of content. And if you think about it less as Google and more as the user, right? If you go to a wall of text page where it looks like an old blog article, right? And there's very little images, you're not going to stay on that page very long. Videos come a long way. And so if you don't have multiple ways to consume your content on the given page, then you're going to alienate certain users. And so that's quality of content, right? So over the years, they've gotten better at it. And that's where the algorithm's going. So I definitely say if you're going to invest money, and quality content costs money, it costs money to make this podcast, it costs money to make a video. So a lot of agencies aren't focusing on that because it takes creativity. It takes a much higher budget, and a lot of clients don't want to pay that kind of money. So it's harder. But the algorithm is going there. And if we embrace links, which are a little bit more quicker, and Google's constantly tweaking their algorithm to devalue links, so you're not future-proofing your website. You can't ignore links. So start with good quality content, do the best that you can with the budget that you have, and then supplement that with links. That's usually the best balance. If you make a new page, let's say you make a guide and you really want it to rank and you got 5,000 words on there, it has all the diversity of content, you'd be better off. I mean, once you get it built, the next best thing to do is throw 3 or 4 pages at it, or 3 or 4 links at it to this page, because a page that doesn't have any links, number one, takes longer to get indexed. Number two, doesn't show popularity. Consider a link like a popularity vote. So getting 3 or 4 links to that page early on can help a lot.
Yeah, to touch on what Chris says too, I mean, there are companies out there, I'm sure we all get those emails, hey, we have a high domain authority, buy our 10,000 links back to your website and to boost your visibility. I think, Chris is mentioning 3 to 4 links here. And what's important to realize there is that those links must have something to do with what you are offering. If you are buying, and if you're a plastic surgeon and you are buying links on an automotive website, there is no power there at all.
Right.
So it's really important that if you are going to buy links, pick very carefully and do it responsibly.
And anytime you're evaluating strategies, because let's face it, you talk to any SEO company, digital marketing agency, they're going to throw out all kinds of tactics to you. And some are good, some don't do much. If you really want to kind of digest what's going to work, make sure it makes sense in the real world. So if we're saying, hey, we're going to build a bunch of bookmark links back to your website, would you do that without the search engines around? Would you do that? And if the answer is no, then don't do it, because it's a gaming. People are just gaming the system, and Google's going to take that tactic off the table and maybe even penalize a website. So just don't do it. If you wouldn't do it in the real world, then without Google, then don't do it just for Google. So, links exist, right? People link to one another. People link from irrelevancy. So people share links. So I never am scared of Google penalizing any of our clients, because we do things that happen naturally. And if we say that we don't know that it happens naturally, then that's what gets penalized. Or if you do it at scale, if you read their link scheme guidelines, everything, they always use at scale, in mass, these type of qualifiers. So everything within reason, you're going to mitigate any kind of risk. That's why our link building is always supplemental. It's not a leading strategy.